Good morning, all. It is Friday. It is, what is today? It's the 14th. So it is, let's putting it all together. It is Friday the 14th. 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So if you're tuning in, please let me know who's there. Of course, as always, Rob. Good morning, sir. Yeah, I've been up since like 5 a.m. I did take like a 30-minute nap, but I had the weirdest dream last night. I don't remember the details of how I got there. But I remember the last part of I was going up a staircase. And I don't know why. I want to say I was chasing something or someone, but I was running up the staircase. Then all of a sudden, the door opens and nobody's there. I did not open the door just opens. And all of a sudden, I feel this pressure on my chest pushing me down the stairs. And I wake up, like actually wake up. And it felt like then the pressure on my chest was released. Weird, like really weird. So anyway, that was my morning. And then I just lay there for a little bit and I couldn't, I saw it was 5 and I'm like, I got to go back to sleep. But I was not tired. So I just got up. I'm doing school stuff. One of the cool things, one of the things I've been doing, I'll share with you. So quick backstory on this. I teach a self-defense class. Most of you guys know this. I teach a self-defense class most Saturdays. Okay. Most Saturdays I teach a self-defense class. And, but I also offer that self-defense class as a fundraising opportunity for organizations. So they can either come to me, I'll either host it at the school or I will go to them, teach a bigger thing, and then they earn, at first I was just thinking 50%. I might actually just give it all to them because it's only like $20, $25 a person. But just one of those things I can give back to the community. So I go to a local elementary school. And I can't remember if I've told the story yet or not. I go to a local elementary school. I surprise them with donuts just because it just happened to be one of their PTA meetings going on. And I talked to the president. I can't actually go to the meeting, but I talked to the president and they're like, "Oh, do you do any fundraising?" And I was like, "Yes, I can send you that information." Because dropping off the donuts was just kind of a lark. I just, so, but I did give her a business card, all that kind of stuff. Now, I got her email, all that kind of stuff. I promptly sent her this information. Didn't hear back. The next week, I have I see them post a picture of a competing martial arts school about how it's like an after school program They go in right after school and then teach class. And it's just for 1 week, just 1 week. But they cover the entire school in over 5 days. And then on Saturday, they have like a pizza party back at the dojo for those people that participated. Kind of like a little celebration, graduation type thing. Okay, kind of cool. So I kind of was like, why didn't I think of that? Why didn't I why didn't I think about it? Why didn't somebody like I don't know. There was just like I felt like I should have known that something like this could happen and people would do it. And yeah, anyway, so kind of like a little gut punch to me that it was just like I should have known. Either I should have thought it up or somebody else should have thought it up and said, "Hey, Mish, have you tried this?" Or whatever. So that really got my brain going of what else can I do to help support besides this little rinky dink? Because yeah, the self-defense class is great. And I believe in it. It's a great class. I get lots of rave reviews from people who come to the class. In fact, I've gained a student because he came to multiple classes. But it was one of those where it's just like, what else can I do? And so I came up with a list. Now, it's not just one thing that, I mean, this is stuff that I've kind of already do. We did kindergarten meet and greets at the beginning of the school year. Okay. I do the self-defense Saturdays, and I have volunteered or offered to volunteer at different schools. Okay. Like right now, I actually, every Wednesday, I do Boys and Girls Club over at Burton Elementary. So, but I was like, what else could I offer as a way for student, organizations to earn money? Okay. Now, and, get my name out there, kind of build that brand of who I am and how we're part of the community, all that kind of stuff. So, last year I had kind of put together like a summer training program. It was like a last minute thought that popped in my head. Did a piss poor job of promoting it. And I really didn't think about going to the schools. So I rethought that up, and I had been going, and this is something that I thought of like last May. But I was like, well, this is, we're coming up to the summer. What am I going to do? So I basically rethought the summer program, and I made a new flyer here. I'll just get out. So I split the summer into 2 sessions. Session 1 is right after school gets out up to Bram's camp. That's 4 weeks of training. And then the second session is the week after Bram's camp, all the way through the end of the summer, with basically a break for me to go down to San Francisco if I ended up going down there. If I don't, I'll probably just take a little break anyway, just for me. But the plan is going down to San Francisco to Brandon's for a week. So, so with that break, another 4 weeks of training. So I put this is the flyer I put together. Isn't that really cool? That's Caitlin. I love Caitlin. She's one of my students. She actually dons one of my windows. So anyway, so I put this together. So it's basically $109. The idea is $109 a session. You can come as much as you want during the summer. To offer it as a way for schools to make money, if a school hands this out to all of their students, they get 50% off of the summer tuition. And when they register, it actually asks them, now if they choose to partner, because it's, I've also sent this one here, like, we should partner during the summer, and then just some basics, a little basic explanation. Then there's a little drop down. They can choose a drop down of, this is where the associated partner school, and then if their school isn't listed, then they can choose other, and then they can put in the name. We have 22 elementary schools in the Evergreen School District. There are 10 that are close in my vicinity. So I'm just going to hand these out to those 10 schools, because that is my local community. Now, say somebody signs up and says, oh, my school isn't on there. Well, then that's where other is. And then they add the other, and then they put in the school name. Now at the end of the summer, I tally up all the money and I write checks to all the different organizations, including the ones that don't partner with me. So say I hand out one of these I hand out the information. I'll actually be delivering all this information on Monday. I was going to do it last Monday, but one of my problems is that I do too much too quick, and I need to take a little bit more time to think stuff through. So this last week, it's talking with other people. I've really been able to formulate this summer training program. So anyway, even if a school doesn't partner, I'm still going to give them the money and say, hey, by the way, just in case. Now, of course, if they hand out flyers to everybody, there is a higher possibility that some of their people might be attending. Maybe none of them will attend, but it's a great summer activity, inexpensive price, and allows them to, hold on a second. My phone is ringing. And hold on. Spam. I hate spam. Anyway, so what was I saying? Oh, so anyway, so just in case, like I plan to basically donate, they'll just get a surprise check and be like, hey, you didn't want to partner with me, but you know what? Somebody from your school signed up anyway, and I'm just going to give you money anyway. And if they don't want the money, I won't give it to them. But that's the idea. So the idea is basically to provide training as much as they want during the summer. Really, it's up to 3 classes a week, because that's all I offer, because it'll be age appropriate. Everybody gets a uniform, but so that's the summer thing. So really this little flyer that I'm handing out is essentially, let's partner for the next school year, beginning this summer. Jim, good morning, sir. So it's really like, hey, you've already made all your plans for this year. Let's start working on next year, but let's actually start this summer. And this is what I have going on. So I got the summer training on there, kindergarten meet and greet. And then, of course, I'm going to do my own after school karate. I've got the self-defense Saturdays on there. And then I also was thinking an exclusive, I just called it exclusive school karate. I don't like, that's the only name I could come up with. And everybody was like, yeah, no, that's fine. This is not an idea that, this is not a native Mish idea. I got this idea from Oh, shoot. I think somebody had posted a video in the Brandon Belisso's Disruptors group. And it was this guy basically talking about how he offers like a way to give back to the community and potentially gain new students. He says generally he gets a couple new students every time he does this, but he does, like, I think he said 6 weeks. I'm only going to do 4, but basically for $99 he does 6 weeks of classes, and then everybody gets a t-shirt, and they basically 2 classes a week. He does it at the school, and all that kind of stuff. So I have a time spot on my schedule because, of course, I don't have a lot of students, and they're mostly just foundation students and year 1 students. So I have this time spot that I was like, that's probably not going to change next year. So I could use that as exclusive training, dedicated training for a school. So, like, let's use Burton Elementary, for example. Now, my wife actually went to their PTO meeting last night, presented the summer training, and they were like, done. Because the summer training, they don't need to do anything but hand out the flyer. That's all. Just promote it. That's all they need to do. So they're doing this. They've already agreed to partner. But say we take Burton, then we would, if they want to do it, they would basically hand out a flyer. They collect all the money. This is where, like, the summer, they don't get all the money because I give them a uniform and I'm offering them, like, they train with everybody else. But the exclusive, it is exclusive to them. So however many, and we might even, I don't know, maybe even limit the size too. I don't know. Maybe depending on how many people sign up is how, we'll see. But they would train with people from their school. Everybody gets a t-shirt, and essentially they would get taught foundation level stuff. I know that questions will come up. Oh, well, what if my kid has what is it? Previous martial arts experience. And it's like, that's great. Maybe they can go into a higher level class, but because they're only getting a t-shirt, I don't want them to feel left out training with people in full uniforms. Okay. And uniforms do cost money. I just bought a bunch of uniforms to replenish my stock, and they're a little bit more expensive than they were the last time I ordered. So I've got this short list and just very, very brief description of what it is, because the idea is they call me, I can go into more description, or I can attend one of their meetings. I can go into more description, but I'm also like, one of my son, he's going to be, he's interning with me officially. So my social media for the school should be improved because he will actually be doing that for school and for me. So he has to actually earn credit. And so it'll be one of those that where, we'll get this out a little bit more. Anyway, so that's one of the things. Oh, that's what I was saying. I told him that as since he'll be interning, one of the things that he could do is, like, if any PTO meetings are in May or late April, if I can't make any, and they want somebody to tune in and talk about this, then he can either go, or he can either attend in person or attend in via Zoom. So, because I know that there's still some PTOs that, or even PTAs that do only Zoom. All right, so I see a few people up there. Why don't you guys let me know who you are tuning in? Everybody's there from Facebook, so just put it right in there. Say who you are, where you're tuning in from. But anyway, so that's kind of what I worked on this morning. I made sure that everything was printed up because everybody will be getting 3 pages. And with my wife suggested not to fold it up and put it in an envelope, but to put a business card with a paper clip. So, Young, how are you, sir? Glad you're tuning in today. Having some tea or coffee, if you so desire. Actually, it's 1 o'clock where you guys are. So, that's amazing. That's awesome. I'm glad you're doing well. So that is, that's one of the things. Another really cool thing in the news. So, love them or hate them, we've got McDojo Life exists. Rob is actually not a bad person, just some of his methods I think are a little bit misguided, but that's okay. It is what it is. We have a brand new judo black belt just joined our class. Oh, sweet. So back, let's see, was it back before COVID, basically McDojo Life announced that they were going to be doing a documentary on Kyusho, or basically fake black belts, or, these, not really fake black belts, but BS martial arts, or whatever he says. FYI, when he says Rob, it's not this Rob. No, I'm talking about Rob from McDojo Life. Anyway, so they announced that they were going to be doing this documentary, and they were taking donations. I think they were doing like a Kickstarter through, and I love how that's been branded now, a Kickstarter through Indiegogo. So they were doing an Indiegogo fundraiser. I was like, I'd be really interested to see, what turns out. So I donated $100. I guess that's their green belt level. And I guess you get like a copy of the movie, and like at my level, I get a poster, I get a t-shirt, like I get all this stuff. That was March. Yeah, that was March of 2000. Yes, there are a lot of web slingers out there. I've actually talked to Rob, with having Kyusho Corner and having Rob not bash me, like I was like other people, like the McDojo wannabes have tried to trash me, but I was like, why, I guess I just haven't made it yet, because Rob hadn't trashed me yet. But he actually reached out. He and I, we don't chat all the time. We did chat for a little while here and there through Instagram, but he's actually, I don't know, he's a pretty nice guy. And we had a very frank conversation of what I see as Kyusho. And so he really kind of understands where I come from. And I think that's, I think that's why he doesn't bash me, because he understands where I come from. And it's, because I even told him, I was like, yeah, we even talked about no touch stuff. And I was like, yeah, no touch is a thing. I said, but am I going to teach it as, this is how you can defend yourself? It's like, no, it's something to play with. It's a demo. I said, could it be combat applicable someday in the future? Yeah. Could it be, if that's all you focused on, if that's what your focus was, and absolutely. Have I ever used pressure points in a real fight? Yes. I said, but the whole demo, I said, it's just like my, what is it called? Like my neck pinch. Yeah. Like you can do it. It's not going to totally knock you out. Like, on the TV show, cause Star Trek is a TV show. But I got it really close. And if you get the person into the right position, you can effectively do it. But am I going to try it in a real fight? Probably not. Actually, I'm probably going to try not to be in a real fight, first of all. But anyway, so long story short, he and I have talked. He doesn't trash me. I donated to his little Indiegogo thing. I completely forgot about it. Forgot that it even existed. I get an email a couple days ago. I think I told our Rob about it. I put out this email and it's like, hey, supporter, we're almost finished. In fact, let's see if I can, nope. Where is it? Oh, hey everyone, I'm sending this email to everyone who has donated. This is most important for anyone who's donated and should be receiving something from us, i.e. shirts, posters, etc. If you've not already done so, please respond to this email with the following information. What donation level are you? A mailing address to send you your stuff. How would you like your name to appear on social media shout out? What size shirt you are. For all those receiving posters, please keep an eye out on your mail, as there will be an email that I will appreciate you responding to. Thank you all. I will be sending another update email this week with some more news. Take care. Thank you all for your support. I completely forgot. And now, 3 years later, they're done. Because I know, like, once they started lifting stuff in the set, because I think McDojo Life Rob is based out of Jacksonville, Florida. I think he actually is based out of Jacksonville. So, but I don't know for sure. So, but I'd love to actually get it, like, in October, if he is based out of Florida, Jacksonville. I would love to go get together with him, but I don't know. I might reach out. Anyway, aside of that, 3 years later, it's coming. So I'm kind of excited. I want to see what he has to offer. Who actually was like, yeah, sure, interview me, because he originally asked me if I'd be interested in being interviewed. And I was like, because he's like, oh, it looks like you're kind of a big deal in the Q show. Would you like being introduced or interviewed? And I was like, well, I'm not, like, I always think I always look at myself. I'm just small potatoes. There's bigger fish out there. But, and so, I kind of I was like, oh, you could reach out to this person. You reach out to this person. I said, but, if you want, sure, I'll be interviewed, but if your intent is to bash me, then not interested. But if you're if you want my true perspective, yeah, sure. But never was interviewed, so not in the movie. But I'm really interested to see what he's come up with. Very, very interested. I was telling our Rob about this the other day, and I even got that even kind of gave me an idea for episode 200, because I'm episode 175 came out yesterday. 76 is coming out next week. I've got a few more episodes I want to do, and then I'll probably during the summer I'll probably take a summer break, and then start filming new episodes, and then start putting them back out in September. So I was thinking, what am I going to do for episode 200? So it kind of got me thinking of, really diving into like doing kind of a deep dive of what is Q Show, and why, like what attracts people to it, and what, like getting an idea of, did people have misgivings about it? What turned, like if you were not a believer, what made you a believer, or have you always been a believer? Chicks, of course. But anyway, so I was thinking that might be, I could picture that in my head now. It's like Master Corn, why did you get into Q Show? And him just looking, just that straight face. Chicks. I just okay, cracking myself up. I think that's funny. Anyway, the but kind of doing a deep dive. So like yeah, I think I don't know. So I'll probably like episode 100 where I interviewed people. I will probably be doing that again. Most likely again. So when I go out to Indiana and Jacksonville, I'll probably be doing more interviews, and based on something like that. So I don't know. We'll see kind of how this might mutate over the next few months, and kind of where it will go from there. So so yeah. But yeah, so I thought that was really cool. Kind of looking forward to it. Oh wait. Okay. Chicks dig the monkeys, which is why I'm a believer. Oh my gosh. Okay. Let's see what else. Oh, finally got in touch with my nephew. He did, like, he's only 14, so he didn't really have a cell phone or, all that kind of stuff. I usually just communicated to him through my sister, but he and I are now actively collaborating on our kids' books. So he thinks it's a great idea. He likes it. We're starting with the alphabet. So martial arts alphabet. I've been sending him sent him a couple ideas for, this is what I think, this is kind of what I envisioned A looking like, B, C, that all that kind of stuff. So don't know when that will be out, but it'll be a martial arts alphabet book for kids. And that'll be the first kids book that we have out. Then I've already written, like I talked about this a while back. I've got Dojo the Karate Kitten stories. Actually, I talked about that, I think, last week, but yeah, so yeah, it's just way cool. Bill, how are you, sir? So I'm sitting last Saturday. And I don't know why I didn't post the picture. I took a picture. See, that's why I suck at social media, is I take pictures. I forget to post the pictures. I have the intent of posting, but I don't. So I'm sitting, I've taught my classes for Saturday, and I'm just kind of taking some time to focus on whatever I was focusing on. I can't remember what it was, because I couldn't focus at home. So I was at the school, and this big dude walks in the door, and it's my buddy who I met through Bill. So for those of you who don't remember, Bill is he's a good friend of mine. He and I bounced together. We ran a training company in there together. Oh, good. Glad you're hanging in there. Good to hear. We bounced together. We ran bouncer training school together. We ran security teams together. Bill and I have been friends for almost going on 20 years. Okay. Hasn't been a full 20 years, but it's been very close to 20 years. One of the guys he introduced me to, who ended up working for a little bit for us, and then bounced with us, all that kind of stuff, was this guy named Andy Marshall, and red hair. So he went by Red Andy. That was kind of his nickname. Hadn't seen Andy like in forever. When I left the security company that we all worked for, and actually Andy had left before to just do something new, but I had already been at Providence, and then all of a sudden, like, Andy's applying at Providence. He didn't even know I worked there, but he applies, gets the job, all that kind of stuff. And then I don't know how long he was there for. I don't know how many months, maybe less than a year. I know it was less than a year, but anyway, so he leaves. He goes off. He does something else. And I've seen him like here and there, but I haven't seen him like in forever. And he walks in the door, and he shows up about 1. He ends up leaving about 5:30. Like, my wife calls, and she's like, "Why are you still at the school? Are you okay?" And I was like, "Look who stopped by." So anyway, it was so cool because Andy's like, he's like, "Yeah," he says, "my dad just bought a house down the street." And he's like, "Oh, he's like, Mish used to live around here. I haven't thought about Mish in a long time." So he's like, "So I Googled you," is what he's like. "I Googled you." And he goes, "Dude, you're all over the place. You've got a show. You've got he was like, you have a school. You have, like, you've written books. Oh my God." Like, he was so, like, he just blown away. So love Andy. And we exchanged telephone numbers. I still had his telephone number. Actually, I had 2 numbers for him. I still had his number. He did not have my number, but that's okay. He's got tattoos, and he actually compliments me on my tattoo. And I was like, "Yeah," I said, he says, he's like, "Oh, where'd you get that done?" I said, "Joe over at Valkyrie did it." Because Valkyrie Tattoo is like a couple doors down from me. And he goes, "Joe did that? Joe did this tattoo? Joe did." So, like, he's got the same tattoo guy just because it's right down the street. So anyway, so Andy and I had a great talk. It was really great to see him. And he actually asked me over on, I think it's this coming Saturday. I'll have to check my text, but he's kind of trying to put together like a podcast where basically we just sit down and just tell stories. And then he takes those clips and then puts them into, like, basically he's like, he was calling it Bounced. He wanted to call it Bounced. And so it's just these little stories of bouncing, different things that we've run into, and, fights or funny situations. And yeah, so yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I don't know if that's what we're going to be doing when I go over there, but he's like, yeah, I'll start smoking some meat. I'm like, okay. So yeah, so I'm so glad he walked in the door. It was really great to reconnect with him. So, and that he's still around. I didn't, he's not on Facebook. He refuses to be on social media. So, so I was like, cool. I'm glad that he was able to come by. And then of course I take a picture and I send it to Bill. I'm like, look who stopped by. So yeah. And he's like, oh, you still talk to Bill? And I was like, yeah, we talk every now and then. I still stay in touch. So, so he thought that was really cool that I still stay in touch with Bill. So, but yeah, so that was something really, really cool, from last Saturday. Very excited about that. Very excited about this last episode of Picard. Like if you haven't watched season 3 of Picard, you got to watch it. You absolutely got to watch it. Rob and I did, a couple weeks back, we did a half part season. But this last episode, like the previous 2 episodes, like the 2 previous episodes put together, yeah, it was awesome. Oh, okay. See you later, sir. Talk to you later. The previous 2 episodes were bad. They were directed by the same person. And I don't know if it was the directing that was bad or the writing that was bad, but like you had to really watch both of them together to get a whole story. And even watching them together, because there has kind of been a pattern, like episode 1 and episode 2. Now, every 2 episodes, they're directed by different people. That's but every 2 episodes, there's kind of a story theme that fits. Episode 1 and 2 fit together, but just watching episode 1, you're like, I'm confused. You went all over the place. It's good, but it's bad. Like, but if you watch both of them together, it's a great, like, I'm connected. Like, yes. But the last 2 episodes, 7 and 8, just like Rob says, it was a whole story, but not a whole good story. Like there were like Shaw took a total backseat, which he had, like, I know he's not one of the next generation, but like they brought in this really great character, and he just had these really great one-liners, and he was involved in the story, but the last 2 episodes, he was just kind of there. And it just, and the story to me really didn't go anywhere. Like all it did was just give it away to kill off certain characters. That's all it really was. And then we had yesterday's episode, which I've only watched it once. I actually watched it Wednesday night because it dropped like at 11. I watched it 11:30, so it dropped a little bit before that here, so I was able to watch it, and just amazing, absolutely amazing. There were some scenes where, like in episode 9, not going to give it away, but in episode 9, we're like, we find out what's up with Jack. And it was kind of like, oh, okay. Yeah, I figured that. Not a big surprise. But there were some scenes where like tearjerker, a couple of scenes that were tearjerkers. So, and like happy tearjerkers. So I'm really looking forward to the last episode. Now, one of the cool things is that there is a, I think it was like Star Trek screenings.com or some website. I can't remember what it was. You could actually sign up for a free screening of the last 2 episodes showing next week. Maybe it was on Wednesday. Maybe was it on? Oh yeah, next Wednesday. One of the cities that they were showing it in is Seattle, and there were 2 showings, like 10 a.m., 1 p.m. And it was like, I think it was open on the 12th to be able to sign up, but I could not find the theater that they were promoting because, put in your zip code. Okay, I put in my zip code. Now, if it was well and good at all, they should have been like, hey, here's where the theater is going to be. You just can't register yet. Registration starts at this time, is like 10 a.m. on the 12th. I was putting in zip codes from all over Seattle. I could not find the theater. So it would not pop up because it wouldn't list the theaters individually. It just said, put in your zip code. Really made me mad. So, and that was pre the 12th. The day of, the website crashes. Like I tried going on there. I was talking to Rob. Rob tried to go on there. I tried to go on there. Wouldn't bring up anything. So, so I will not be watching it live, but I was like, I will get up and I will drive 3 hours to watch this and then drive back. Like I'm good with that. I can totally do that. But of course, unfortunately, it's not going to happen. So I guess next Thursday, I will just be watching it at home on the big screen at home. So it is what it is. The let's see. But I'm kind of excited. I do have questions though, like, and not it, like you could be nitpicky here and there, which Rob and I kind of talked about yesterday. We were nitpicky, but nothing that's going to be completely ruining the episode for us. It's like, oh my gosh, how dare they? It's just like, why did they do that? Yeah. Now on the Mandalorian front, yeah. So everyone was like, I've heard, I don't know, like on the website or, online, I've heard, oh, it was such a great episode. People are going to be so like, it was so good. I don't know. I don't know how to feel about the last Mandalorian episode. Because like the whole season has been kind of this lackluster. We're really not going to go anywhere. Like, because there hasn't really, to me, there really hasn't been an end game to this. I mean, Din Djarin was supposed to, bathe in the waters of Mandalore, or whatever the technical place was. And he completed that in episode 2. So you're like, okay. So we get like a little bit of Mandalorian culture. This episode has been, or this season has been a lot of side quests, just a lot of side quests, not like something that has been continuing through. And like even season 2, well, I mean, I guess all the seasons, they were kind of a bunch of side quests, but we were going somewhere, and you were kind of like wanting, it's like, oh, you had this feeling you were constantly moving forward to this end. This season to me has just been a bunch of side quests with, I don't know where we're going. Like before it was like, I don't know where we're going, but I'm kind of excited to get there. Here is, I don't know where we're going. And I just want to be like, Papa Smurf, are we there yet? Like, apparently there's like, Dave Filoni is like, yes, there's going to be a huge thing at the end. Like everyone's going to love the last episode, just like they loved the last episode of season 2. So I hope, I hope so. Yeah, that's about it. Yeah. So I don't really, because watching the episode was like, oh, that's cool. That was dumb. What's that? That's really, I kind of like that. I like this. Nope. That's dumb. That's super dumb. Why did they even do that? Like, that was me watching the entire episode. Yeah. Actually, that's kind of me watching the entire season so far. Like, cool, dumb, cool, super dumb. I don't know. It is what it is. It is what it is. Yeah, so it's been kind of exciting week. I'm looking forward to more exciting weeks. I have, so another thing, I have my grandson on Mondays and Tuesdays. Actually, I'll be alternating Mondays because my daughter-in-law's schedule has changed. So daycare for him, for James is needed on other days. So I was like, so they're like, and it was so funny because my daughter-in-law is like, oh, well, when do you work? When's your next day? And it's like, or no, oh, what time do you have to be at the school? It's like, this is not a job I clock in at. Like, I go to work, like I'm always working on the school. Like I always have my laptop in front of me. I'm always working on something, and either doing research or actively creating or writing, whatever. I'm always doing something. So, so it's not like I was like, but I want to help out because I don't really want anybody else watching my grandkid. So it's one of those things where it's like, okay, he's no longer coming on the weekends. I can't take, like, Wednesdays are out of the question for me. I can't do it at all. I can do Tuesdays. Preferably alternate Mondays. So we got all that worked out. Comes over, and it's not a full day on Monday. He comes over, I think he was dropped off at like 9, something like that. So I got a lot of stuff early done, and then the rest of the day was shot. Like, he's almost 2. He is this lovable little monster, and he constantly, it's not that I have to keep watching him so he doesn't get into stuff. It's that he constantly, like, read me the story, which I will totally read you a story. Do this, Papa, do this, Papa. I don't know how my wife does it. So Tuesday, I was like, okay. Like Tuesday was a bust for me. Didn't really get anything done because I was up late the night before working on stuff. So he comes over, we go right upstairs. We ended up actually taking a nap at one point, but it's so funny because we get to the school and I'm thinking, okay, I can get to the school. He can run around the mats, make a mess. I don't care. I can have my computer up away from him. I can do stuff. Nope. I got out coloring sheets. I've got all of these coloring sheets from the Kids Love Life Skills. Yeah, absolutely. No rest for Papa, I tell you. So I'm like, do you want to color? And he's like, yeah. And so I get him some coloring sheets. I get him a clipboard. And we first started in the lobby, but he wanted to lay down and color. So I was like, well, he's got a clipboard. I can always wash off the mat if any crayon gets in the mat. I'm not worried about that. But he's like constantly coming to get me so I can sit down next to him. So long story short, I end up sitting on the mat with my laptop while he's coloring. He just wanted me near him. He didn't want me to color with him. He just wanted me near him. So that was cute. I don't have him this coming Monday. So that's when I'm going to do all of my handing out of flyers. And then handing out of information packs to schools to put in their PTO's mailboxes. And then I've got him Tuesday again. So I'm sure we are going to work out some kind of, I don't know. We'll work out some kind of something or other. Like some kind of routine. That's what I'm trying to get to. Some kind of routine. But yeah, the first couple days, they were rough. And this is funny. I'm old and stiff and I grunt getting down just because I do. That's what older people do. We go, ugh. Yeah. So we walk over, I put my laptop down, I grunt getting down. And he stands. So now James grunts as he starts sitting down because that's what I do. He grunts walking up the stairs because that's what Lisa and I do. And I look at him and he grunts as I'll look at him. I said, "Are you mocking me?" And he gives me this little smile. And I'm like, what a little monster. Oh my gosh, I tell you. So I just think that's funny. Anyway, I think that's all the news that's fit to print. Oh, yeah. Okay. An update on my book. Book is complete. Book is complete. I put in an order for proofs. I do not have proofs here yet. I wanted to have proofs because I wanted to be like, look, people. I have gotten a few pre-orders, not a lot, but I've gotten a few pre-orders. Couple people have pre-ordered the whole package deal with the color version and the black and white version with the crimp tool and the trainer. I want to do like a little video of the book, but I don't have a book to do a video for. So anyway, I think what I'm going to do is I might, because there are video, QR code video links, because it is a visual reader. I'm going to do, I might post, I was thinking like posting a video from that, just kind of as a help to promo it, but I'm not sure which one I want to do though. That's the thing. Rob says, my niece, who's a year and a half, grunts when she moves too, but only when I'm around. You gotta love those little creatures. Yeah, my youngest is 17. I don't know, like having spread our kids out as much as we do. I don't know, like if we had spread out, I think my youngest, if we had had a fourth and spread them out, my youngest would be 12 or 13 now. Not sure if, yeah, because yeah, doing this 2-year-old thing, I don't know, but it's working out. I only get them 1 or 2 days a week, so I just couldn't imagine. Like, I don't know how I did it. I really don't. I don't know how I did it, having 3 kids that young. Like, and we all managed through it. All of us who have had kids, we've all managed through it. I just don't know how I did it. But like for me, like it was a combination of me and my wife. I don't think we really relied on our parents as much as Ashton and Destiny rely on us, or even our friends. But I don't know, we just kind of made it work. We worked alternating shifts. So we didn't have to have daycare. At one point, I was the only one working because Lisa was at home with the kids. But yeah, so I don't know. Just don't know. But it is what it is. That all being said, that is all the news that's fit to print for today. When I get books, when I actually get the books, they should be here Sunday. I will post pictures. I'm really excited. I cannot wait to get a physical copy in my hand to see how it all turned out. So I wish I had, like my previous order that it was lost. Never got the first ones, but I did a second order that has all the QR codes and everything in it. So, oh yeah, the only thing it doesn't have in it is a foreword that Harvey is supposed to write. I just haven't received it yet. So, but we have like a whole nother 12 days until it's until it goes to official publication, at least so far. I still got to double check the proof, but that's it. So there you go. Everyone, you have a good day. Loved you all. Thank you for tuning in, and live long and prosper.